Hello and good afternoon. In this video, I want to cover Africa, the sleeping giant, has now awakened. Africa was once sleeping after being brutalized by the West, and then suddenly, like a sleeping elephant, you could do whatever you want while an elephant is sleeping, or even a lion. But once the lion or the elephant begins to stir, you better be careful. Once that lion and that elephant begin to stretch and awaken from their sleep, then you better stop playing games or you will face their wrath. Africa has decided we have been the bottle washers of the Western world for too long. They've been controlling us with their dollars. We couldn't even trade properly. We couldn't even have any recognition. They treated us as children. And as a result, Africa could not rise. Africa could not compete in the Western market. They're manipulated and controlled, because African goods would be sold using US dollars. And obviously what African economics has realized the African currencies have lost ground against the US dollar, further driving inflation in the import reliant region. Depleting dollar reserves have left policymakers with limited options but to seek out self-determination. This is what, look, if you look at the European world, the economics that they've got is white nationalism, looking after white people. It's only, you can't judge them for that. You can't judge white people for looking after themselves. It's called intelligence. You can't judge white people for conning Africa. It's called survival of the fittest. Their father, Charles Darwin, has taught them how to look after themselves first. Now Africa's saying, we want to play the same mind games. We want to play the same manipulation. Hence BRIC, Brazil, Russia, India, China, Africa, BRIC, strong like a brick. Coming together to play the same mind game. Because Russia, even though Russia's white, Russia has never had any Western imperialist mindset when it comes to Africa, and Russia did not participate in the African slave trade. So I see Russia as black. I see them as Africans. So what's interesting is that they now saying they want to ditch the dollar because they realized the dollar was crippling Africa. Africa could not rise as long as they were reliant upon the slave master's crumbs. And they began to realize it's time for us to move on. The Western governments, the corporate companies do not have African interest at heart, but to leave her poor, leave her destitute, and leave her without black nationalism and economic progress. So they're waking up. They're waking up. Not quick enough, but they're waking up. Do you remember Colonel Gaddafi? When Colonel Gaddafi wanted to unite, Colonel Gaddafi, he had a great mind. Colonel Gaddafi wanted to unite the currency, African currency. And they killed him for that. The Western world and Saddam Hussein, Colonel Gaddafi were like this. But when they decided African Pan-Africanism, That was when the Western world killed them. This is white supremacy. When you want to do something for yourself, they come along and kill you. They call you lazy, they say you're brainless. But when you want to compete with them, suddenly you become a threat. You know, but the days of killing black leaders are over. The days. People are waking up. And they can't even fight Ukraine properly. They can't even deal with Ukraine. They haven't even got the resources. North Korea is rising up. China is watching Taiwan. And the Western dollar is crumbling. You know, they want to deal with the trans movement. They want to deal with their kids. They know with the giraffe if they're cats or dogs. They want to deal with their own messed up state of affairs and get their home in order while they come banging our leader. But Africa now is saying, look, let's leave it to your garbage. Leave it to your garbage, your philosophy, your Epicurean nonsense. You know, with you coming or going, with your cat or with your dog, with your giraffe, leave you to your madness. Let us build Africa. Let us build Africa. Build united people. Build black love, black nationalism, black economics. While the Western world crumble under its own sexual immorality. This was happening. So I'm watching this space, and I hope and I pray that Africa will rise and be the giant that God intended her to be.
We can't take anymore. On a boat. Me not kill you no yet. It's a war going up. On a boat.